welcome back to Katie's Kingdom. I am continuing my what's in my bag videos from our May Disney World trip. It's our baby moon, our last trip before we are a family of 4. And I just filmed a what's in my toiletries bag, but I decided to do my what's in my makeup bag separately. So this is what's in my makeup bag for a trip to Disney, for a vacation, and also just generally the things that I use most in my makeup collection. This is sort of my makeup essentials. So I'll get right started. The carrying case that I am using, the makeup bag, is a Tokidoki Jujubee collaboration bag in Donatella's Sweet Shop print. It's a really sweet, whimsical, sort of childish print, but I like it. It makes me happy to look at, and it's also kind of Disney-esque. It's not Disney, but kind of fun for Disney. So that's the bag that I use. It is I believe it's a specific to makeup bag, and this is what I use like most of the time to keep my makeup in. It has, I'll show you what's inside without tipping it all out. This is what the inside looks like. It has room for all of the brushes that I need to take with me and plenty of room for all of the makeup that I need. So I'll just dive in here. I'll try and start with the things that I need for the beginning of my makeup routine and then work my way through the makeup routine as best I can, although they are not organized in any particular order. I'm kind of just a throw things in the bag type of girl. There are in this bag like compartments on the sides, little mesh compartments all around the side, which I don't really use because generally when I'm doing my makeup I just pick something up, use it, and throw it back in the bag. But the little top is handy with all my makeup brushes. So yeah, I like this bag a lot. So the first thing I do is obviously wash my face and put moisturizer on. When I am in Disney and when I'm in a hot climate and when I'm anywhere where I'm going to be outside for an extended period of time in the sun, the first thing I do instead of putting moisturizer on is I put this Shiseido Extra Smooth Sun Protection Cream. It's broad spectrum, SPF 38 for face. It's water resistant, up to 80 minutes sunscreen, and this is 38. This is slightly different than the other one that I have. The other one I have is 50 and it's wet force, but either one I find works just fine, especially when I'm putting it under makeup that also has SPF. But this is like a must-have for doing your makeup in the sun or a hot climate or anything like that. It goes on really, really smooth and your makeup adheres very nicely to it. So I always put that on first. Then if I'm doing my makeup any other time, not for an outdoor situation, I will start with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I use also the Becca First Light Primer. I like both of them. They just make your makeup go on really smoothly and stay on better. So I just brought that to you in case I'm doing my makeup. In case I take a shower and do my makeup for the nighttime, I wouldn't put this on first. I would put this on first. Then I have 2 little makeup sponges. This is one that's like on its last legs. I do wash them, but this one still could use a replacement. So here is my new one. My replacement is right here, but I just took them both in case I don't like the shape of this one. It's a lot smaller. So I have 2 makeup sponges and I use them to apply this. It's the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Sunscreen in the shade Light 3. And I love NARS makeup. I prefer a tinted moisturizer or BB cream to a heavy foundation. I don't have a ton of like dark blemishes. And I have a pretty even texture and pigmented skin, I guess. So just the lighter foundation is what I prefer. I like that it has sunscreen in it. I like that it's light, and this is just a really good one. I've used a lot of different ones, and this one doesn't seem much better than others, but also the Tarte one is really good. And yeah, this is just the one that I'm using now. I like to switch it up and not use the same exact products over and over again for the most part, especially stuff that's going right into my skin. So I dab that on with the sponge, and then I will put on my concealer. So I use the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer in the shade Light Neutral. And this works pretty well. I'm always looking for something that that kind of goes into the fine lines, because so I put this under my eyes, under my nose, and on my chin, and it does sometimes set into the fine lines a little bit. Oh, my light ran out of battery. Unfortunately, the rest of this video is gonna be my actual face instead of a nice lighted face. But anyway, I'll just continue on. Like this concealer, maybe not the best. I would consider a replacement, but it's fine. And then I also use the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base if I'm putting anything on my eyelids, which I don't always do, specifically when I'm at Disney, and I don't always do it every day. But if I am going to put something on, I'll always use this. I have really creasy, crepey eyelids that definitely need this, because it will settle into my crease really bad if I don't use it. Once I've put on the concealer, then I use a pressed finishing powder. This is the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder in the shade Light. And it looks like that. I tend to be a little heavy-handed with this sort of powder. And so I'll put it really pretty good into where I just put the under eye concealer, so that sets, and then all over my face. And that mixed with the tinted moisturizer is enough of a pigment for me. So some people will use a heavier foundation and then like a translucent powder, which I also have. I'll show you that in a minute what I use it for, but I find I like the combination of those two things. So what do I usually do next? Next, if I am doing eyeshadow, I will put that on. This is the palette I've been using lately. It's the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes Soft and Sexy Eyeshadow Collection. This is not a new thing. I've had this for probably way too long, but I really like the colors that are in it, and I also like that it's small enough to travel with really easily. It's just got some nudes, some pinks, a good combination of if you want to do a matte day or if you want some shimmer. It's got a really nice combination of colors, in my opinion. I usually use that top middle pink one and the right middle taupe color if I'm doing just like a super regular old style, and then I'll play around with the other colors too. I have a shaky hand right now. There's been a lot going on today. I also use the black as my pregnancy brain. I cannot think of the word, but I use that as my liner, my eyeliner. I just use a shadow because I am terrible at putting eyeliner on. I've never mastered it. I'll usually just put it on the top. If I'm doing like a little bit of a smoky, more intense eye, I'll do a tiny bit on my waterline on the bottom, but I always just use eyeshadow for those purposes. Then I'll take this big old brush and just sort of swipe away the excess so it doesn't set into the work that I've already done. And then I will do my bronzer, blush, and highlighter. I do bronzer first. I've seen people do it both ways. That's just how I do it. I love this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light from Hourglass. It's very reflective. I don't know if you can see it, but the color is just really nice and natural, and I don't really change it up with this stuff very often. I did just buy a new palette, but I wouldn't bring it to Disney. I would just bring the absolute basics. The blush that I use is NARS Orgasm. It's like the holy grail of blush. I'm almost to needing a new one, but I just use that, and then I finish it off with the Albatross highlighter from NARS, which is just a nice plain white highlighter, and then I just swipe that on the top. Then I well, sometimes before I do the blush, bronzer, and highlighter, I'll do my eyebrows and I'll fill those in. Usually what I use is the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil in the shade Platinum Blonde. I always use the lightest shade for my eyebrows. That's just what suits me, and I don't like to go too dark because I'm not super talented with my makeup, so I think like a lighter one just works better for me. And this is sort of a thicker, like, I don't know if you could see that at all, but it's sort of a thick one. So recently I've been wanting a more like separated brow look, and I tried this one, which I also like, but I'm getting used to, so I just brought them both. It's the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color Taupe, and this one is more like a super thin line pencil that you can do thinner strokes with. So I brought both of those because I've been playing around with those. And then when that is all done, I'll just go real quick over with this Laura Mercier translucent powder. I don't think it has a color. It's just the loose setting powder with my biggest brush, just really lightly all over my face to sort of blend it all together, in case, depending on the lighting, sometimes this can look a little too like heavy. So I'll do that. Then I'm almost done. I will set everything. This is an important step that I didn't always do, but especially for going to Disney, this makes a huge difference. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. It's long lasting. You just spray this on your face and then sort of like let it all dry really well. And this will extend the life of your face, of your makeup, your face of makeup. And yeah, so I like that a lot. And then last, I do just a little bit of mascara on my bottom lashes. I do wear eyelash extensions that are maintained for me by a professional. She puts each lash onto my real lashes, so I don't have any reason to use mascara on the top. Actually, in fact, you're not supposed to, but I do a little bit on the bottom just to like define the bottom of my eye. And I just been using the Maybelline Snapscara. It really doesn't matter what mascara I use as long as I replace it often, because as soon as it starts to get clumpy, my lower lashes especially are so fine. It cannot be the least bit clumpy, or it's just makes a huge disaster out of my face. And this is in black. I always buy just plain old black, but whatever I can find cheaply in any drugstore is what I use for mascara, because it's only such a little bit. And then I just have a few lip colors that I've been liking. I don't use anything sticky on my lips, like a gloss that is sticky when I'm in Disney or anywhere going to be outside, because if the wind blows and it gets your hair stuck to your lips, it's just not a good situation. But I do like this. I've been really liking these. My friend Blair Lamb mentioned these on her channel once. It's the Color Sensational lipstick, and I don't remember what this is. Oh, it's Maybelline. So it's just drugstore lipstick, but I find it works just as well as any lipstick that you buy at the makeup store. And this is the color Taupe Seduction. I think this is in fact the color that she had recommended, and I really like it. It's a little browner than my natural lips. For me, it's hard to go too many shades away from my natural lips because I do have very pigmented lips, but I can get away with like slightly changing the shade a little bit. So this makes them just like a little bit browner if I'm wearing like a brown toned outfit. And I want the pink tones like toned down. This works really nice. It was not expensive, and I like it a lot, and I like the consistency of it. And then my favorite drugstore lipstick is the Sexy Mother Pucker from Soap and Glory. I have a bunch of these. They smell really good. This one is You Say Tomato in satin, and it's a bright summery orangey red. And that's if I just want like a pop. Say I'm wearing like black. This would be for like a dinner if I'm wearing like a black dress. This gives me like a nice pop of bright color on my lips, so I brought that. I also, for most of the time, I have a NARS liquid lipstick, and it's in my purse, so I don't know what the color is, but it's basically exactly the color of my lips. It just sort of like, it makes my lips look nice, but the same color that they are. And that's what I bring around with me like on a daily basis. And then I have my Tweezerman tweezers, of course, in case I have an errant hair, eyebrow hair that needs tweezing while I'm doing my makeup. And then the last thing in here, two things. This is an Yves Saint Laurent lip, I forget what they call this. It's like a lip stain. It goes on liquid, but it's like cement. It stays on forever. And this is the color 107. It doesn't have a name, but it is also like basically just the color of my lips, except it makes them a little shinier. I've actually had this for way too long, but I like it. It's one of my favorite lip products. And then a lot of times if I'm going out to the parks in the morning, I will not put any color on my lips. I'll just put Burt's Bees Ultra Conditioning Lip Balm on there. So that is everything I have inside the bag. And I'm not going to take all these brushes out because they're mostly from Sigma. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about them. I've had them for like years and years and years, but I use a separate brush. I use a separate brush for each like powder that I'm using, so I can get away with not washing them as frequently, which I know is disgusting, but I don't wash my brushes as often as I should. I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world that does that. But so I just use a separate brush for highlighter, separate for blush, separate for bronzer, separate for powder, and then the big one is for like my loose setting powder at the very end. I don't really put a lot of like pigment on that one, and that way I don't have to wash them as often. And then I have two real thin brushes that I apply the liner shadow with, and just two sort of bigger brushes that I apply eyeshadow with. So I guess I could have taken those out and showed you, but I got stuff to do today. We're leaving tomorrow for Disney. So I hope you enjoyed this little what's in my makeup bag look, and I hope you enjoyed my toiletry video. Those two kind of go hand in hand because this is all just like toiletries that I bring with me to Disney World. And if you did enjoy it, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you have a favorite makeup product that you can't live without that I should try. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.